Welcome to Intervision FM. And today we're going to dive into can being a vegan cure or reverse skin problems. And in my case, I'm gonna say some stuff that is personal to me, and then I'm gonna give you like the seven day challenge, because I think 7 days that's good enough. That's good enough right there. So you can feel the things that I have felt, guaranteed. And want to let you know that this is the first time you're joining us. My name is Johnny J. I do a radio show called Intervision FM now it's KUVO 92.9 on the FM dial, 83 HT3, that's the digital station, and also that's on Wednesdays and Fridays from 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. I also do KUHS Denver on Sundays from 1 to 3. I also send out like a newsletter that has a link for my show, so if you don't catch it on those days, you can download the show and catch it at your convenience. So I want you to go to our website, intervisionrecords.org. That's intervisionrecords.org, and check out signing up for our free newsletter. Also, would like you to sign up for our Intervision FM YouTube as well, where I upload a lot of these shows, and then I just put music behind it, and just do something like that, something make it a little bit fancier sounding. I don't know about fancier looking, but fancier sounding. So in this journey, I had to go back, way back, to Genesis chapter 1, verse 29. Genesis chapter 1, verse 9. And let your food be let plant-based. Your food be your meat. Let plant be your meat products, right? When you start this journey, as I have started this journey, it's not gonna happen overnight. You're gonna look back on your life and you say, man, if somebody would just told me back then, it could have saved me a lot of trouble. And in my case, it was like a version of step by step. Back in the day, I think like you can go to McDonald's and you can get like a hamburger for like a quarter, and French fries for I think maybe like 10 cents, and a drink for a nickel, and that was back in the day, when a man can work one job and he can support his whole family on that income, as my dad and many other dads did. And there were some women working outside of the home, but a lot of women were working inside the home to develop the minds and support their husbands and things of this sort. And I grew up in one of those kind of what they call like a traditional family, where my mother, she taught herself pretty much how to cook, for reasons that I guess her mother had died at an early age. So she would experiment on what is called, we call them homeless, but back then they call them hobos. and someone is like a homeless person would walk up. I mean, I'm gonna use today's phrase. Walk up to the door, knock on the back of your door, and say, ma'am, do you have anything that I could eat? Because I'm hungry, whatever. And so, you get so many of these people coming through, and this is a story I heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but this is what I heard. And she said, "Oh, let me experiment. Let me see. If I cook something, if they like it, then hey, I'm on the right track." But I'm thinking like, hobos or homeless people. I don't know if they're the best judge of cuisine. I go over to this. I'll check into this place called Father Woody's, and great place. They give people a chance to take showers, and they get the medical needs taken care of, and sometimes they come in and do acupuncture and dentistry and counseling, and if you need a place where you need your mailbox, need a mailbox to get letters, they provide a place for that. Really a nice place. Father Woody's on I think it's on 7th and La Pan. I really respect what they do, right? And I've tried some of the food, and I tell ask Miss Kay if she can fix me up a vegan plate. Now, I'm sort of jumping up to the front, and then I'm gonna go back again. And it's not the fault of Mrs. K or whatever, but most people, when you say vegan, they say, "Oh, eggs, hey, that could be vegan. Cheese, hey, that could be vegan." Things of that sort, right? And okay, bread, hey, white bread, brown, it doesn't matter. Just bread, hey, that's a vegan. There's nothing meat in there. And God bless them, just great people, and I love the service that they do for the people. But I especially like it when she serves up to me, and she knows, Mrs. K, she knows how to throw down when it comes to black beans and rice, or when she puts together a salad, a green salad, without the cheese, whatever. I mean, she can throw down, right? And I appreciate that. And then sometimes they might take out a sandwich they call it a vegan sandwich, but it has all this mozzarella cheese and it's like, and then I might eat around that and eat the vegetables and leave the rest of it, and they say, "Man, this is gonna fill you up." Or one day I think they had like peaches and corn and things of that sort, and I just ate the peaches or whatever. I think I ate the corn and left, because they thought, "Oh man, I'm gonna fill you up because we got all, we got these sandwiches put in the microwave, heated up, and melted cheese, and okay. I understand where they're coming from. So as going back to my mother, she was thinking like, okay, if back in the day they used to cook with lard, and the grease that they use now, the Crystal and the canola oil, is very harmful for the body. I mean, we thought like lard was harmful, but Crystal, I mean, you could put Crystal on the shelf for months, years, and it won't break down and spoil. Lard, it has a shelf life. And so when the scientists decided, well, let's try to make something that doesn't have a shelf life, the chemicals that they added to that made it like deadly to our bodies. A lot of people, and they don't know this, I mean, how are you going to know this? I mean, technology, we went from, back when my mother was growing up, like, you grew your own food. You pretty much grew your own. You raised your chickens, your cows, your milk. You went fishing. I mean, you lived in such a way that you were self-sustainable. And now we depend on grocery stores and supermarkets, and we don't know, things in the box, and they tell us that these processed foods are sustainable to us now, right? And so we eat those things. Okay, so she learned herself how to cook this way, and with the lard, put it in the lard, and she would cook spaghetti, and kids love spaghetti, love meatballs, spaghetti, but I used to associate meatballs and spaghetti with heartburn, and I didn't know what's going on. It's like, what is in this spaghetti that is causing such heartburn? And then I realized, that it was the grease. When I got out on my own, I cooked spaghetti and with the sauce and no grease, and then I said, wow, no heartburn, And then I understood that, unbeknownst to her, she was just thinking like, this makes the food taste better. The more grease makes the food taste better. And she didn't know that it was clogging arteries, young arteries, and in my case it was clogging my skin pores. And then I started getting, a lot of kids get acne problems, right? But is it a way that you can avoid acne problems if you eat what I would call cleaner food that are not processed? And I had these big giant bumps on my face, on the side of my head. I had this big giant bump, and people thought I got stung by a bee, and I just went along with the story. And I had big bumps, and then it spread from my face to my head, and if you touch them, you touch any other part of your body, it infects that area as well, because you're walking infection. And so we because my dad had great insurance, we went to the skin doctor, and even after he passed, my mother still had that insurance working for her. So she would, first we did the home cures, turpentine, alcohol, and so she would dab it in some cotton, and she would put alcohol in these spots, and they would burn like fire, because that's killing the infection. But man, it was not fun. And she would shave off my hair, and it was back in the days when kids were wearing afros and stuff like that, and I love long hair. To the very day, I love long hair, even though my hair is short now. And so, but she was, this is what she knew, and so this is what she did to try to avoid going to the doctor. And let's do some home remedies first. And another thing that we used to do, like every year in January, my dad would have the castor oil, and so to unclog us from all that stuff. And now I learned that if we would have just ate like salads and fruits in the summertime, because when you're hot, you don't want to eat a lot. You don't want to eat heavy meals. But the commercial will say barbecue, heavy meals, drink a beer. And so all of us, we just followed along with that, barbecue, heavy meals, cakes, and potato salad, and all these heavy things in the summertime. Which the summertime, you should really, give your body a rest. Give your body a rest from all the heavy foods that you might eat in the wintertime. In the summertime, eating more fruits and more salads. But like I said, Dr. Sebi, especially, he says, when they took us from Africa, they didn't bring our food with us. And if you never heard of Dr. Sebi, go to YouTube, type in SEBI, Dr. Sebi, and you'll learn quite a bit about electric foods and so forth. And his family, his daughter, the Bowmans, his grandson, and his oldest son are carrying on the tradition, and they're spreading the word. If you want to check out the Breakfast Club and just type in the Breakfast Club and the Bowmans, or the Breakfast Club and Dr. Sebi, you can learn quite a bit about the same thing that I've been learning, because now we have this technology, of the internet. We can now learn things, and the community of healing herbs has gotten smaller, so we can learn these things. So, if you just joined us, my name is Johnny J, and my show is called Intervision FM. I think I'm the only blind TV producer in Colorado Public Access TV, which we have a show on Channel 56 that you can see, Denver Comcast 56 every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So you can check that out. Let's see who's joined us and give a shout out to whoever joined us. Let's see. Let's see who's here. Hey, Jerry. Welcome to the show. Jason, let's see. Jason Allen, thank you for joining us. Deborah Johnson, Nickelberry, Cuz, thank you for watching. Daniel DeCurran, thank you for watching. Thank you, Andre Jackson, for watching. Greg Garvea, good to see you here again. And a bunch of other people are joining us as we talk, so get back to this. My mother, she takes me to the skin doctor, and probably because there wasn't a lot of African Americans with the kind of insurance that we had that was good, the doctor was, we usually see like white people that have this skin disease. And at the time I thought it was kind of racist, but then as I got older, I realized that maybe I was one out of 1,000 African Americans that he, or black people that he saw in his office. So obviously there might have been other black people that had the same kind of skin problems, but because he saw mostly white people who had good insurance, good enough insurance to pay his bills, or cash, whatever, or a good enough job, they didn't see too many black people coming through. So instead of me taking offense of it, I didn't think of it as that way. And so of course they will recommend antibiotics. They won't ask you like, what are you eating? What are you putting in your body that cause your body to react this way? Because that does not make them the money. And it's all about the money. And I didn't understand that at the time, and so the antibiotics would calm things down, but it would never go to the root of the problem. And as I gotten older, I've understand that doctors, this is what they're taught. You can't blame them. That this is what they're taught. They're to make a living, not necessarily. And if they cured everybody, their patients be right. But not realizing that there's a new shipment of people every season that will come around, and you help this person, you help that person helps that another person, and maybe your office wouldn't be empty because there'd be a new shipment of people. Just as Dr. Sebi and his children and others are spreading the word, there's always a new shipment of young people that are now understanding that these Happy Meals and all this processed food and all this meat 7 days a week, 3 times a day is destroying our community. I mean, there's many things destroying it. Households just without fathers, fathers either in prison or just running away from the responsibility. A lot of things are destroying the community of family. This is just one part of the puzzle. One part of the puzzle I've been learning about, and through my journey, finding more about, how to reverse a lot of this stuff. So I'm gonna ask going on the 7-day challenge with me. And so my mother took me to the doctor, did this, went through school, and with these acne problems, and not understanding, constipated all the time, and not understanding that there was a natural way of reversing these problems, because doctors wouldn't tell me, and my mother, my dad, my mother, my brothers and sisters, they just knew what they were, seeing on TV. Eat this, go. I remember my older brother, Dallas, saying, I just drive by these fast food restaurants, and my doctor said, hey, you should lean off that food, and he said, yeah, it tastes good, and it looks, it looks good. Yeah, those foods are meant to taste good, meant to tickle your taste buds, and make you avoid readjusting your taste buds to real food. And I mean, when I say real food, foods that have seeds in it. If you get a grape and it doesn't have seeds in it, that's GMO food. If you get an orange and it doesn't have any seeds in it, watermelon, GMO. That's what we're getting ready. My wife and I were getting ready to go over to Moscow, and that's the only place that you don't even ask. You get some grapes, they have seeds in it. You get watermelon, they have seeds in it. There's no, they keep our food, lots of our foods, out of that country, because they realize that United States is the big poisoner of a lot of countries, because we ship our foods in there, then we give other countries our diseases through the processed foods that we're doing. And if you never do this before, and you've been giving your kids Happy Meals and all that stuff, hey, it took me a while to understand what's going on as well, and it's a journey, and it doesn't happen overnight. Right? He said, man, I can't give up my steaks and my hamburgers and my whatever, lambs or whatever. He said, hey, man, it doesn't happen overnight, but you have to see how it makes yourself feel. And I know a lot of people, they like to get high, they take pills and stuff like that. I guarantee you, once you start down this journey and you start cleansing your body, you will get a high, an endorphin high, that is better than any, if you're a drug user, alcohol user, the high that you're always chasing. You'll get a high that you will not believe. And I use one because I never used drugs before. Only drugs I ever used was the drugs that the doctors gave me to help stop rejecting corneals, and I didn't like it, and I would take myself off those drugs. And the doctor said, "Why are you taking those drugs? This is to help you, Johnny, so your corneal doesn't reject when we give you corneal transplants." And I said, "Hey, I don't like seeing things that are not there, and I don't like dreaming about things that are weird and unusual because of these drugs that you're giving me." And they thought, crazy, man, we're trying to get your sight back. But I wasn't into getting high, and to this very day I'm not into getting high off of chemicals. But as far as on a plant-based diet, or going on a 7-day fast, or intermittent fast, which is maybe 48 hours, maybe 72 hours, giving the body a rest, I highly recommend that you start where you are. Going just fruit and salad, regimen, and start there. Like in the summer, it's just about over, and you're not gonna, do this overnight. It takes step by step, and you're gonna go back and forth. You're gonna go grab a Snicker. You're gonna have those cravings and all that kind of stuff because your body has gotten used to eating processed foods, and we get introduced to that at a very early age, and our parents, because we trust our parents. I mean, our parents, they don't know any better because they're indoctrinated by the television. Television says this is good, and you look around, your friends are eating this, your friends are, and they're not dropping dead right away. And they seem to have these skill and these asthmas and these attention deficits and all my friends, they have this, and they're putting us on lithium and at very early ages. So if your father or your mother is in prison, they're getting drugs in the prison, and they're introducing this stuff in the elementary school because they say you're too hyper, and we got to calm you down, and this whole process is basically just to make money, right? And if you can, it's difficult. I have friends that have been learning how to, grow vegetables within your house. And there's ways you can grow it. If you live in an apartment complex, you say, well, I don't got a backyard, A lot of people don't have backyards, but there's a way you can grow vegetables in your house and grow a lot of herbs in your house. And like I said, it's a process, step-by-step process. It won't happen overnight. And so this process, I was up to like 240 pounds. And then I went down to to 210. And I just couldn't get underneath that 200 mark, And then I started, intermittent fasting, eat 5 days, fast on water and so forth for, 48 hours, so forth, like that. Or I would take, herb sea moss, gentlemen and ladies, sea moss has powder form. Even if you got it through, in the Whole Foods and learn how to, put it together. And there's a lot of YouTube videos. Watch some of those and whatever resonates with you, whether it's the powder form or if it's the real form of sea moss. Either way, add that to your diet. Or I was telling my daughter, a green smoothie a day, like an apple a day, keeps the doctor away. And it'll cut a lot of those cravings. If you say, oh man, I got just craving for alcohol. Every Friday, Saturday night, I got to go out and drink. Hey, Andre Jackson. Hey, thank you for joining us as well. And so, like I said, I'm putting out there the 7-day fast, and like what I would do if I was you, to slowly get into it, meaning like just fruits with seeds in it. If it has seeds in it, fruits and salads, whether it be romaine salads, blueberries, raspberries, the bitter fruit, and start your journey step by step. And like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to get to a certain point where you're going to feel like a euphoria type of feeling. And I've been there many times before. And I said, well, what's going on? Why? And it's your body healing itself. It's, they talk about, taking stem cells and putting it in you to heal your body. If you get to a certain point in this journey, your stem cells will come out and heal and repair parts of you. I guarantee you, because I'm going on a journey now, and I'm going to take it to another level. And I'm getting older and stuff like that. And everybody, we have our time clock, and everybody has their time clock. But this is a journey that I'm going on. If you want to come with me, if you want to have more shows like this, say put it down in the comment section, and I'll bring you even more information. And I've already gave you one guy, Dr. Seeley, and Patrick Delves, Delves. Patrick Delves, he's very intense. So if you go over to his channel, he's very intense. So I haven't got to the point of 1 meal a day, but I'm getting closer and closer there. And like I said, it's just a taking one step at a time. You may fall off the wagon going down this journey one day, but you get back up and you follow. You get back in place and you do it again. But it'll be a certain point where you're going to feel like a very euphoria about this, and you'll see what I mean. So catch my shows. You heard when they are on channel 56 Comcast, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and my other radio shows. And go to our website, innervisionrecords.org, and give us a call if you want, 720-324-7278. That's 720-324-7278. And you might hear your comments on our radio show. So God bless you. Until the next time, this is Johnny J for Innervision FM. See you the next time. God bless.